Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel. So the sky last night on my walk was amazing, and I'm so happy that I got to capture that for you guys. And hopefully you saw my little note in there that said, did you see the cloud that looked like somebody looking down? It was pretty cool. We get some really neat clouds around here, and lately we've had amazing sunsets. So I'm glad I got to capture that for you guys. Well, it looks like our long-standing government shutdown is over. I mean, I don't have high hopes, not to be a doomy gloomy, but it's been shut down for a while. I know that people that need the SNAP benefits, it sounds like they're still going to be waiting a little bit, as well as some flights still being canceled permanently. But hopefully they're able to get everything caught up and on flow again without shutting back down in January when all of these little short-term promises are due to expire. But it does also look like we will be seeing the files, or supposedly. I have a feeling there's going to be like a Watergate 2.0, but who knows? But I do think that regardless, because of that and because of the obvious involvement of some way or another with our president and those files, guys, I believe there's going to be a lot of distractions, and I've been saying this, and someone like him with his personality, he's just not going to go hands up, okay, you caught me. He is not going down like that. So anticipate a lot of distractions. We've got aircraft carriers in Venezuela. We've got B-52 bombers flying along the border of Russia. And Iran and Israel's doing this again. Oh, don't forget the $2,000 unicorn checks that we supposedly are going to get, which is going to make our inflation skyrocket. And, you know, I hate to say this too, but possibly be prepared for a false flag. I'll just say that. But, you know, regardless of all of that, we also have to remember why this is all going on. And we've got, you know, almost $39 trillion in debt. Our economy is, AI will be taking jobs. It already has. Gosh, the penny, I guess yesterday was the last day the penny will be minted. So make sure you go out and get yourself a 2025 penny, because that is going to have some historical value. But all of this is necessary for issuing in the New World Order. And I do believe, you know, we are at a like I said, a crossroads. We've got digital currency being worked in the background, as well as digital ID. I don't know how many of you knew this, but also yesterday, conveniently, Apple released a version that you're now able to download your ID into their wallet and now have your own version of your digital ID. As you can see, I am, well, you may not have guessed where I am, but I am in what I call my garden. So this year I let my garden go. I didn't do one. And part of the reason was the year prior was my first year of doing it, and I did so much work on getting this ready to grow food. I laid down over every square inch of this area cardboard, and then topped it with wood chips from the lumber mill down the road. And it managed to suppress some really serious weeds that used to be in here that would get taller than me and hard, very, very hard to mow down. So I was successful in the aesthetics part of it and getting everything laid out, and even did manage to grow some food. Unfortunately, what happened was we were inundated with voles. Now those things look like, they look like mice with really short tails, and anything with a root system in here they just destroyed, because they burrow down and they eat the roots, so it just kills the plant. So I had a lot of stuff that I needed to do that I realized I would need to do, which is get it out of the ground and up into raised beds. So this last year, I really struggled. I was tired, to be honest with you. I started working on another section of the garden on the other side here that still needed cardboard and wood chips. And it took a lot out of me. You know, it's just me doing it. So all the heavy lifting and all of that, it was a lot, and I was wore out. But I'm really excited. And this is why I'm out here today, because even though this all looks like crap and I didn't grow a garden this year, I am really determined next year to get the work done that I want to get done. I have bought some old produce crates. They're wood. Probably see them when you go to the store, like they'll have apple displays or pumpkins piled in it. The Amish store down the road from me sold me some produce crates. They still have some more that I'm going to go get. And those are what I'm going to use for raised beds. I have to line it with hard cloth so the voles can't get up into them. And they're not very good climbers. So what my plan is for over the winter is to kind of fill those beds up with, I've got some logs in there, I've been putting sticks in there, I've got some old food, veggies and stuff that I'm going to throw in there just to let it kind of compost with the snow over the winter. But I'm really excited, and I'm already starting to do my planning, and that is what I wanted to talk about today. Is I'm starting to see a lot of comments of people that are actually starting to realize the importance of being prepared as we all can. Now, again, I've said several times, you know, financially, if I had the big bucks, my preparedness would look a lot different than it does. But mine's pretty minimal in the sense where, you know, I have batteries if the power goes out for flashlights. I have, you know, cooking, camping stove stuff. But I don't have the big solar generators and all that fancy stuff. So I do what I can. And I know it can feel overwhelming when you first start to get your home prepared for emergencies or whatever comes our way. And so what I wanted to do was give you guys some inspiration and something to think about. So like I said, I'm starting to think about what I'm going to do for the spring, and I'm getting really excited even though we haven't even had our first snow for winter yet. And it may seem kind of like, what's the point? Well, the point is that when you start getting your house prepared, you may have things that are going to take 6 months down the road, and it may not seem like, well, what's the point in doing it now? But I kind of look at it like, have you ever booked a vacation 6 months in advance, a year in advance? And why book it that far ahead? Well, it gives you time to put money away, get your outfits ready, and you get super excited knowing that trip is coming up. It's something to look forward to. So what I wanted to encourage you guys today is, whether it is starting a garden or some other project for preparedness, to start planning ahead and give yourself to be something to be excited about. One thing that helped me get started was when I have a Kindle, a little Paperwhite, and I downloaded my first book on preparedness. And I hadn't started doing anything yet. I started an Amazon list where I, went through and just did my panic wish list type thing. But I really had no strategy in place. So I would encourage you also, if you are getting started with preparedness, to look at some books. There are several books you can get on Amazon, the Kindle version, where you can download them and read them. You can buy used books or anything like that. One of my recent books I'm really excited about is a Army survival one. So I'm reading through that right now. My son's in the Army. But give yourself something to look forward to. And what it will do also in return is, stay afloat, pay attention to what's going on. But I've already talked several videos ago about not being in denial. So we've already moved through being in denial of there is a new world order coming, and we are at that crossroads. So some of you are just going to say, okay, that's fine. I'm just going to go with the new digital world and, the universal basic income and just live that life. That's fine. We all have a choice. But for those of us that don't want to do that and we appreciate our freedom and our autonomy, we really need to be putting ourselves in positions like this where we have a small garden that we're growing food, we have a water rain catchment system, stuff like that in place as much as we can ahead of time. So pick a project, write it down, get excited about it, start looking forward to it, pay attention to what's going on right now, but don't let it take away from what you need to do to keep you and your family ready for everything going on. Because the majority of what we're seeing right now is all smoke and mirrors. Like I said, back to the Wizard of Oz, the don't look behind the curtain. And there's going to be a lot of that now. I anticipate a lot of that now with the list coming out. And I really hope that comes and goes as necessary. Now, I'm not saying put it away and forget about it. I know that there are victims that are out there and they're exposed to all the leftovers from this happening. And it's got to be really hard on them to just be dragged through the mud constantly every day. I can't even imagine they can go on social media and not see something about, Epstein this, Epstein that. And if you were one of those victims, it would make it really hard to live your life, a normal life, and recover and move on from that when you're constantly bombarded with, seeing that. So let's stay focused. Let's, be afloat of what's going on, be aware. Don't let the distractions distract you, and find something that you're really excited about and start preparing for it. And, you've got over the winter to do it. That's what I'm going to do. I actually have some things I'm going to get out here and do today, but I hope this helps. I really want to encourage you guys to, stay focused, be positive, be ready, and don't let the distractions get you off course. So everybody enjoy what's today? Today's Thursday. Enjoy your Thursday. Take care.